All right, so we're gonna do a Q&A. I have a list of questions that I haven't gotten around to answering, so we'll do it right now. So Jong Yun Ryan asks, do you think an Instagram to present yourself is better than other websites, or just do all of them? Or I guess you mean other social media platforms. For me, I think that having a website, you didn't ask about this, but I think having a website is important to have somewhere to send people to go look at your demos. It's served me very well, and a lot of people reach out to me via my website. I think that when it comes to social media, Instagram is great, TikTok is great, YouTube is great, especially with Instagram having Reels now. So anything that's a video platform or an audio platform, I think would be awesome to display your skill set and your creativity. And I would say look at it as a creative outlet. So the kind of work that you're wanting to do and wanting to produce, those are platforms where you can just make stuff and then put it out there and people can find you. My Musical Tree asked, what microphone do you suggest for voiceover work and music abilities? I have a video about this, but I guess I use an AKG C414. It's about $1,000 microphone, but you can change the directionality of the pattern. So you can change it based off of what you're doing. So right now, I only do voiceover work with it. So I have it set to a certain cardioid pattern. And then you can change that whenever you're going to do instruments, and it even gives you a little graph whenever you buy the microphone of the best ways to use it for what type of music you're doing. But I would say it'd probably be best for you to learn about which type of directionality pattern you're needing for the music and what kind of instruments you're using, or if it's singing or whatever that is, and then look for a microphone that's within that realm. So I don't have like a specific microphone to recommend to you other than the one that I use, and I love it. And it's good for anything that I could need, and it's like a forever microphone. So that is that. Let me see if there was, I think there might be something else I want to say about that. No, yeah, that's about it. If you watch my video with Lenny B talking about soundproofing a room, he stresses that it's much more important to focus on soundproofing your space than what microphone you're using. So I don't know if that helps, but good luck. Tristan Sartoris. How much of your work is from your agencies versus your own personal client finding on your own? I would say over 95% of the work that I do is self-generated. So since I've signed with my management company back in May, I have landed quite a few spots with them, which has been awesome and amazing, but it is a numbers game whenever it comes to auditioning. So the more auditions you put out, the better your chances are. And that's such a, it's a space and a vibe on its own, the auditioning process and what determines whether you book something or not. So the vast majority of your work will be self-generated, and that will also give you the confidence to have feedback from actual clientele. It'll give you the experience and the practice that you're needing, and it'll give you the confidence to be able to stand on your own and not feel like you need an agent to be successful. We are knocking these out, yeah. Sisala asked, do you know any agents that are willing to work with people who still work full-time? My impression is that agents may only want to work with potential actors who are ready to work at a moment's notice. I would say don't tell them that you're working full-time. And yeah, the better the agent, the more opportunities that an agent has, and the more high paying those opportunities are. Some of them absolutely will want you at a moment's notice. For example, in the promo world, that world moves very quickly. They might send out an audition and you need to get it back to them within 2 hours, and then they'll just listen to them as they're coming in, pick one right away as soon as they find one they like, and they might use that audition for the spot. Like, that is very good money very quickly. So it's kind of like you have to feel things out. You can look for an agent where They might not have such a high volume of work, and they'll give you a day or two to get the audition back. Most of my agents give me a day or two to get an audition in, but the agent that I book the most with, that I get the most amount of opportunities with, about half of my auditions-ish a day are same day delivery, and the faster you can get it in, the better. So it's not a make or break situation, but it is something to always be working towards. And don't give information that isn't going to necessarily mess you up with them, but also you don't want to do anything that is going to give them doubts. You always want to do something that inspires confidence with your agents. So it's just something that you're going to feel out. And if you're not full-time yet, you're probably not going to be able to sign with an agency that has such a high volume. So I don't think you would really find yourself in that position of having an opportunity to sign with an agent that you're not able to keep up with. I am her Natalie G. Do you offer one-on-ones, chats, or consultations? Yeah, if you want a consultation and you have specific questions, or you're looking for someone to kind of chat with you one-on-one about your situation and how you want to get started and lay out a game plan, then yeah, I'd be willing to sit down and do consultations. Just reach out to me via my email, which you'll find in the link below, or if you go to my website, then you can find the contact me link. Okay, moving on. Luke McLaughlin. Is it good or bad to do multiple voices or multiple people talking within the same ad? Obviously, all the voices were actually you. I mean, does that show range if you do a woman's voice in your ad, as if the character's talking to the man voice in the commercial? Okay, so listen up, everybody. For demos, I would not say put on multiple characters. You can. There's no hard and fast rules when it comes to demos. I would especially advise you against doing a man's voice and a woman's voice. Because in the industry, when they want a man, they can just ask an agent and they have a whole roster of actual men. They don't want to hear a woman trying to do a man's voice. If they want a woman, the same thing, vice versa. So it depends on the type of demo that you're talking about. I'm assuming that you're talking about a commercial demo because audiobooks and things like that are kind of obvious, but in a different way. But in commercial demos, don't try to do a man's voice and a woman's voice. Just showcase your skill set. There's other people that have their own skill sets that are natural to them. So just, demonstrate your skill set. And I hope that answers it. And I would say this is a stylistic choice, and obviously you can do whatever you feel is best to showcase yourself, but I would stick to ads that sound like they could have been actual ads that you've done. And you aren't going to find a lot of ads where you have one person doing multiple character-y voices. So you want to do something that's reflective of the actual industry and of actual spots that you hear on the radio. So my advice is just stick to your voice, showcase your range, showcase what you can do in the commercial world. Save the character stuff for your animation demo. Nick Chinney says, I just have one question for you. As someone who's producing his own demo, is it a good idea to include a copy of a past work into one spot? Yeah, 100%. If you have spots that you've done that you're proud of that you want to showcase on your demo, showcase them on your demo. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. Good for you. Maria0127, my questions are how to apply as an audiobook reader narrator. If I did a demo, where can I post it? How will I know if it's a legal site? If I choose a book for a demo, is it okay to a writer or publisher to use it or need permission? It's an issue of copywriters. You can go and watch my videos that I have regarding audiobooks. I forget the names of them right now, but I think I have 2. And I address where you can find work, and I kind of answer all these questions, but I'll re-answer them a bit right here. So how to apply as an audiobook reader or narrator. The easiest thing is to go to ACX, which is Amazon's platform where you can audition for audiobooks and authors can find narrators. Other than that, because that's only one resource, I would suggest there's many audiobook publishers out there in the market working, and many people creating audiobook publishing companies trying to break into the field. So I would search for audiobook publishers and reach out to them about their roster. Basically, you're looking for someone who hires narrators. So, it's about the keyword search in Google. Audiobook publishers, I don't know, maybe become a narrator for audiobooks. You could look up things that I've done in the past when I've been trying to figure out who I want to reach out to is I look up different audio awards and I see who has won different audiobook awards and who they were signed with or what the publishing company was, stuff like that. If I did a demo, where can I post it? This is why I said earlier that I think a website is perfect. A website for me in the voiceover world is your online portfolio that people can just go to and listen to all your stuff, and you can showcase it exactly how you want and market yourself in the style that you want to. Other places to post your demos would be exactly what we're talking about. Go to ACX and put your demos up there or send them out to publishers. But realistically, with the way that the industry is evolving, people want custom demos, custom samples, and auditions. So your demos are great to get on lists, to have the opportunity to audition. You're not really gonna find an author who's gonna hire you based off of a demo. They'll listen to your demo, decide if they like you, and then reach out for an audition. How will I know if it's a legit site? I don't really know how to answer that for you. There's a bunch of sites out there. I'm not really sure what the danger would be of putting your demo up on something that would be considered a not legit site. I wouldn't, you could check Triple B, the Better Business Bureau, and see, certain companies have ratings if you have any doubts. I guess you could be asking about like payment and stuff. How do you know if it's a legit buyer? And that's kind of just the nature of the industry. You have buyers reach out to you and you're taking a risk working with them. So if you're nervous about getting payment, then I would say it's always safe to use platforms, things like Fiverr.com. They're really the only platform that I am supportive of. The other ones, that's a whole nother conversation. But it's up to you to kind of feel things out. I, in my entire career, have only ever had one instance where a client didn't pay me for the work that I've done. And they reached out to me letting me know that their client didn't pay them, so they wouldn't be able to pay me. And that was that situation. I just noted it, took it as a loss, and that's about it. So I haven't really had that issue, but I don't know what country you're in, and I don't really know your situation, but I hope that helps. If I choose a book for a demo, is it okay to use it? I don't fuss myself about usage rights whenever it comes to demos, because it's a demo. You are selling nothing. So I don't worry myself about copyright issues. It's a demo, it's a sample that you're sending out. You're not selling it to anybody. You're not, I don't see any issue with it. And whenever it comes to writing, especially with audiobooks, I look for the best writing that I can find in the genre that I'm interested in reading for. So I pull from the best authors. And I don't ask them permission, and yeah, but you can always feel free to, reach out to the author or their publishing company and ask permission if that makes you feel more secure. And then I watched your YouTube on Source Connect, but I have a question. How do you mute your speakers after you have echo tested? So when I do a Source Connect session, I always have my headphones on, because I need to be able to hear their direction and their feedback. without that sound interrupting the recording and the microphone. So, you know, just with the way that things work, sometimes I'll be recording and someone might forget to mute their end and they'll say something in the middle of my recording. I don't want that to, one, mess up the recording that they're taking through Source Connect, and two, I don't want like a weird feedback loop where they speak and then it goes in through my microphone and then amplifies through my speaker again. So I keep my headphones on, and through my audio interface, which is, I use Audient ID4, I hit the mute button, and then I only hear everything through my headphones and my speakers are muted. I hope that made sense and was helpful for you. And then I had one more question that came in today. Is it necessary to have 2 speakers, perhaps for an even listening? I prefer 2 speakers. In my studio, I have 5-inch JBL speakers, one on this side and one on this side, and I have it like an equilateral triangle to my ears, and I hear the difference. If I'm below my speakers, it sounds different than when I'm level with my speakers, and I hear absolutely everything crystal clear. And is it absolutely necessary? No. Sometimes I use my headphones, and I know that that works just fine, especially because I've been working in my studio with my setup long enough that I trust my sound quality and I know what it should sound like, and my audio engineer, Lenny B, has made me a preset that is built for that space. So I feel very comfortable with my quality control. When you're trying to figure out your studio sound and all of that, you want to hear everything exactly how anybody else is going to hear it, with as much detail as possible. So I prefer 2 speakers so I can hear every detail. The last thing that I would want is to hear it in my headphones and have it sound good to me, but then they hear it through a professional studio that they're listening to it from, and there's something not quite right about it. So that is how I see that situation. But if you have a good pair of headphones, you know, that's acceptable as well if you feel comfortable with your space. All right, well, that was my Q&A. I will see you guys next time. Bye.